How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Loot Wizard. Today's video we're going to be going over everything we know so far about the upcoming Warlock class, which is confirmed to be the second class coming in the Lord of Hatred expansion in late April. So if you somehow missed out, the Warlock was indeed confirmed to be the new second class coming in that next expansion. It did get leaked prior to this, so those leaks were correct. So I just wanted to make a video sort of compiling the information we have so far. It's not much. But we do have some things to look into about the future of how this class is going to play, the lore behind it, and etc. So to start us off, we were right in thinking that this class is sort of serving as a counterpoint to the Paladin, i.e. it's a light versus dark sort of situation where we have the Paladin being a holy class using the power of heaven, and the Warlock is a more unholy class using forbidden sort of magic and using the power of hell. Sort of a fire against fire sort of situation there. I think it's interesting to note that they're trying to sort of thematically keep the Warlock separate from the Necromancer. Obviously, they're kind of similar classes, but it seems that the Warlock is very specific to hell and demons rather than undead sort of corpses and things like that. The Warlock draws its power directly from hell, whilst the Necro uses, corpses of people really in Sanctuary. So they're sort of keeping the two classes thematically distinct in that sense. The next thing I've noticed is that it appears that the Warlock is going to be a weapon-wielding class. We had some sort of speculation that possibly this was a weaponless class, and that was due to the fact that we had a silhouette here in this video teaser where we could see the hand, and it was seen without a weapon, so we thought maybe this was some sort of class that doesn't use a weapon, but that appears to be not the case, as we can see a very large sword right here, as well as in the trailer footage we can see him holding a sword as well right there. So not a weaponless class as we thought. It definitely uses a weapon. So this class is going to be using summons, very similar to the Necro or the Witch Doctor, as well as magic spells. We can see a little bit of sort of what that might look like here in this concept art right here. But something interesting is, since this class isn't the Oracle, which is one of the biggest contenders we thought that this new class might be, it sort of makes me curious as to what the devs meant by the ability to really control the battlefield. If you guys remember a while back when we were talking about this class, the devs sort of said that this new class is going to have some very interesting mechanics about controlling the battlefield. And since at the time we thought it possibly was the Oracle, we were thinking in terms of possible time manipulation or freezing or teleporting and things like that, sort of manipulating the enemies on the battlefield in that sense. But now that we know that it's the Warlock and not the Oracle, what does controlling the battlefield necessarily mean? I'm starting to think that the Warlock is going to have the ability to possibly control enemies on the field, and sort of take control of a demon and use it, as a minion, basically. And maybe that's what they mean by the ability to control the battlefield. Something that gets mentioned in this article from Blizzard here is arcane talents and incantations. Now, possibly this is just some simple ad copy here, not really much to go into, but maybe this is just a little bit of a look into the possible class mechanic of the Warlock. Maybe the arcane talents are the Warlock's version of the Paladin's oaths, right? So maybe the arcane talents are going to be that, and maybe incantations as well. But we're going to be learning more on March 5th in the developer update stream. So we're going to have hopefully all of these questions answered on March 5th. They're going to go into the skill tree, hopefully, and hopefully we can get some gameplay as well. Now, I am curious how much of the D2 Warlock is going to influence the D4 Warlock, not in a lore sense, but in a gameplay sense. So, again, if you don't know, the Warlock has actually come to Diablo 2, which is crazy, the fact that they're adding new content to D2R here. But obviously, we have the class playable right now, and I'm curious how much of the gameplay in D2 is going to influence the things that we can do in D4. So again, hopefully on March 5th, we're going to learn more about the Warlock. We do not have much to go on right now. We do have some really cool cinematics, we do have some really cool concept art, but not much in the form of actual information on skills, gameplay, etc. But March 5th, we're going to get all that information, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a really, really fun class and a really, really great addition to the game. Let me know what you guys think about this Warlock. I'm definitely going to be playing it when it comes out. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more updates regarding the Warlock as we get them, particularly in March 5th. Alright guys, take care.